Most people believe they struggle with difficult conversations because they don't know what to say. They search for the right words, the right approach, the right moment. They rehearse opening lines, they research frameworks, and then when the moment comes, they still don't have the conversation. Or they have a version of it that's so softened, so hedged, so carefully managed that nothing actually lands. The reason is almost never a lack of words. The reason runs deeper than that. And until you understand what's actually driving the avoidance, no amount of scripts or communication frameworks will solve it. In this video, I'm going to take you to the root of why difficult conversations are difficult, not the surface level version, the real one. Then I'm going to give you a real framework that addresses that root, not just the symptoms. I'm Shaka Lockman from Mind's Eye Status, your executive communication coach. Let's go. The real reason you avoid difficult conversations is not what you think. The common explanations, I don't want to hurt them, it's not the right time, it probably won't change anything. These feel true. They're not the root. They're the rationalization. The root is this. You have a belief, usually formed early and reinforced often, that expressing a difficult truth will cost you something. A relationship, approval, safety, position. This belief operates below conscious awareness. You don't decide to avoid the conversation. Your nervous system makes that decision before you've consciously processed the situation. Every avoided conversation is a debt. And like all debt, the longer you carry it, the more expensive it becomes. What avoidance actually costs you? Think about it. The real price, the most visible cost is your credibility. People who never deliver hard truths are not experienced as kind. They're experienced as unreliable. The room stops bringing them real problems because they know they'll get managed responses, not honest ones. The less visible cost, your own self-respect. Every time you know the conversation needs to happen and you don't have it, you send yourself a message that the other person's comfort is more important than your own truth. What about the professional cost? Stalled teams, unresolved conflicts, performance issues that fester. All of it traces back to conversations that didn't happen. And the personal cost, resentment. The relationships that you've been protecting by avoiding the conversations is often damaged more severely by the avoidance than it would have ever been by the truth. If there's a specific conversation that you've been avoiding personally or professionally and you want a sounding board, book a free 15-minute communication audit with my team. The link is in the description. We'll work through the specific situation and give you a clearer approach. Next, let's talk about the framework, how to have the conversation that needs to happen. First, separate the fact from the story. The fact is what happened. The story is what you've told yourself it means. Lead with the fact, not the story. In the last 3 meetings, you've arrived late, not you clearly don't respect the team's time. Second, name your intent explicitly. I'm raising this because I just want us to be able to work together. State it plainly at the start before anything else. This disarms defensiveness before it has a reason to form. And after that, ask before you tell. After you've stated the fact, ask for their perspective first. Help me understand what's going on from your side. You'll frequently discover that changes the entire conversation. Next, make your position clear without making it a verdict. This needs to change is a position. You're unprofessional is a verdict. One opens a path forward, the other doesn't. Next, agree on what happens next, specifically with a time frame. A difficult conversation without a clear next step is just uncomfortable exchange. Think about the identity shift. From someone who avoids to someone who addresses. Techniques help, but the deeper work is identity. As long as you see yourself as someone who isn't good at confrontation, the techniques will always feel like a costume. Useful sometimes, uncomfortable always. The shift is this. Difficult conversations are not confrontations. They are acts of respect. Telling someone the truth about their performance, their behavior, or the impact they're having, that is more respectful than protecting them from it. The leaders that I've worked with who handle this best don't see themselves as brave. They see it as a baseline expectation of their role. The conversation needs to happen, so it happens. Start small, my friend. Have the conversation you've been avoiding for the least amount of time first. Each one you have makes the next one easier. Not because the situation gets simpler, but because your identity adjusts. This is a very internal shift that needs to happen. The difficult conversation you're avoiding is not protecting the relationship. It is slowly eroding it, and it is slowly eroding you, your credibility, your self-respect, and your ability to operate with a kind of directness that separates genuinely effective leaders from people who are merely manageable. The goal is not to become someone who enjoys conflict. The goal is to become someone who is not controlled by the fear of it. Someone for whom difficult truth delivered with composure and respect is simply what leadership looks like. That person is available to you. That conversation is where it starts. Subscribe if you want more of this work, and the link below is where we go deeper. Your free 15-minute communication audit. I'll see you there.